guys, just over this way, chorus. And just straight ahead. Bye, guys. Over here. Yeah. To the right again. To the left, guys. Straight ahead, please. Straight ahead.
They are my absolute favorites, and they're here with us today. Please welcome Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood, the Rolling Stones. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live around the world. This is global. This is very important. A lot of people are watching this.
Very early in Los Angeles. Right?
Yeah, it's very early in Los Angeles.
We're here. Yeah. But we're here to present our new single, which is called Angry, and the video of it, which you'll see later. And Angry is the first single from our new album called Hackney Diamonds, which is why we're in Hackney. And which comes out in October the 20th.
That's right.
So that's why we're here.
New single, Angry.
It got called Hackney Diamonds because I think we were flinging ideas around for titles, and we went from hit and run, smash and grab, and somehow between that,
I like those.
We came up with Hackney Diamonds, which is like a variation of the both, and also it's a London band, you know, and we thought that was
pretty quick, actually. There were lots of ideas floating about, and we gathered them all together just before Christmas last year, and made a go of it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We cut them all very quickly.
It's been 18 years since you made it.
We've been very lazy.
There was a blitz on it.
That's not very quick at all.
We have done something when we've been on the road most of the time. But we were a bit too kind of like lazy, and then suddenly we said, well, we go. Let's put a deadline. Let's make a record and put a deadline. So Keith and I and Ronnie had this chat, and we said, okay, we'll make this record Christmas, and we're going to finish it by Valentine's Day.
So we made 2 albums.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we went into the studio, like Ronnie said, in December, and we cut 23 tracks, and very quickly, and finished them off in January, and mixed them in February. Yeah. Something like that.
You started in
about right.
That's about right.
That's about right.
It must feel different not having Charlie Watts in the studio with you playing. What was that like?
It's all, you know, it's ever since Charlie's gone, it's different, of course. You know, I mean, he's number 4. He's missing. He's up there.
Yeah, I did see a lot of number 4s around here.
Yeah, of course he's missed incredibly. Yeah. But thanks to Charlie Watts also, we have Steve Jordan, who was Charlie's recommendation for if anything should happen to him. Steve Jordan's your man.
He picked Steve Jordan.
Yeah, there's 12 tracks on the album, and 10. Well, I think actually it's not true because it's not on one. But most of them is Steve. But 2 are tracks we recorded in 2019 with Charlie, and so we used 2 of the tracks that we recorded with Charlie before.
Yeah, Live by the Sword and Mess It Up.
Yeah,
those are the 2 tracks.
Yeah,
and also I heard a rumor of Bill.
And yes. Bill, and we asked Bill to come into the studio.
It was creeping.
Did he get it?
Live by the Sword.
And Bill came in and did 1 track, so we had the original Rolling Stones Rhythm Sections is on 1 track.
Wow.
So then we had a second idea, which was not to make it about Angry every track, but to make them a bit more eclectic and have a few love songs, ballads, and country kind of things. So we got a mixture. So.
Oh yeah, I keep my chops together between gigs, and you've got to keep your fingers moving when you get to our age.
Yeah.
Keep everything moving.
This is interesting.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, as you get older, you'll realise what I mean.
You'll go down. Keep everything moving.
Shake it out. Shake it out.
Can I go through the track list here and just right now? I think fans would like to know the track list. Do you guys still love being in the studio together? Was it fun?
Yeah, it is fun. It is where a band can come together and playing live is the other holy grail. you know. But to record is where the guys can get together and pass around ideas without any interference, and you know, and when it works, it's great. And you know, there's some unholy grails too, believe me.
Yeah. And we were saying
it's a great place for a band, you know, to work it all out.
Don't want to be big-headed, but we wouldn't have put this album out if we hadn't really liked it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't want to make just any record and put it out. So we wanted to make a record. Before we went in, we all said we've got to make a record that we really love ourselves. I mean, other people may like it, other people may not. But we must say that we are quite pleased with it. I'm not saying we're big-headed about it, but we're pleased with it. So
I'll drink to that.
And we hope you all like it.
Yeah.
I think on this album we were like we went into it like pretty fired up, and once we got started we just went through it every day. It was like a kind of like banging through 2 or 3 songs, and so you keep the excitement. You're not like doing 100 takes of everything. You're doing 4 or 5 takes, and then you move on to the next one, and then you see what you got. At the end of the day, you see what you got, and if you haven't got it, you might do it next week.
No, I think because of Charlie passing, and we felt that we're still going and that we should still retain an identity and still say, hey, it's only rock and roll, but you know, here we are. Charlie would. I felt in a way that made this record because Charlie sort of said, do it.
Light your head off. Well, Paul was more blown away than we were. You know, he was loving it. Yeah, he played on a couple of songs actually, and one's going to be for the next album as well. Yeah, it was like a completion of coming back around of like to get Stones and the Beatles together. You know, it's a wonderful thing.
That rivalry gone. That rivalry gone.
Oh, it was always a close knit rivalry, like brothers, you know.
But I work with those guys anytime. With Paul, Paul's on the playing a bass on one track, and but I used to, you know, John and Paul are on records of ours. We Love You, Dandelion from the 60s. They would come in and do the backup vocals. We've always worked together off and on when we, you know, the odd occasions when we sort of, you know, meet. You know, and so I think at the same time it is sort of poignant, you know, that, you know, hey, the Stones and the Beatles are still around in their own way, you know, and, you know. I miss the Beatles because they're not the Beatles anymore, but hey, you know.
I like it. It's just very cool to see.
To get a glimpse of the Stones and maybe get in.
Can you tell me how long you've been a fan and what is it about them that you love?
Well, I've been a fan since 1977, I think. And I've seen them now for about 80 times, I think. So that's why we want to see them today again, because after a new album, they also, in general, they give a new tour. So we are hoping for a new tour next year, maybe. But if it's possible, because of their age, they are not very young anymore, of course. So that's what we're hoping for, and to get inside. But that's an illusion, I think.
I think that the sound, how they make like very raw music, and I mean, when you listen to everything that they've been playing throughout their career, is the most incredible thing. So, yeah, they're brilliant.
He was doing that. Used to do this in my shows.
Well, I don't know. I think it's just to come and celebrate, you know, arguably the greatest rock band in the world. You know, their longevity really is the thing. You know, I've been going nearly as long as them, to be honest with you. I saw them for the first time in 1972, I think, 72, 73. and they're just a remarkably brilliant, solid, simple rock band.
You know, there's no substitute for the Stones, is there? So yeah, and you know, whether you see them on stage or whether you're doing kitchen dancing, you know.
Mary Blues, one! Kitty!
Right, open up.
Run, last one! Yeah. Run, last one! Run! Last one! Run it!